this week has brought a rare breath of relief for many immigrants and families who have been living through months of backlogs, slow responses, and shifting timelines. After so much uncertainty, people were hoping for even a small bit of good news from USCIS and the NVC, and for once, the updates coming in do feel more hopeful, especially for those waiting on family filings, work permits, and consular interviews across several countries. In this video, we'll talk about the encouraging immigration updates that are unfolding this week, how USCIS and the NVC are making small but meaningful improvements, and what these positive shifts might mean for your immigration journey as we move deeper into November 2025. If you are liking this video, please hit the bell button, subscribe, and like it so that you may get updates straight to your smartphone. Now let's get into the video. Across USCIS service centers, there has finally been noticeable movement in several long-pending case categories. Many families waiting on I-130 approvals, especially those stuck at the Potomac and Nebraska service centers, are now seeing updates after months of silence. Attorneys have confirmed that USCIS reassigned additional adjudication teams this week, focusing specifically on older family-based files that had been sitting in review far longer than expected. For families who have been checking their accounts every day with no change, this sudden wave of approvals is offering a real sense of hope. A similar improvement is happening with I-765 work permits. For most of the year, people have been dealing with unpredictable timelines and long gaps without employment authorization. But this week, several field offices reported a faster pace of approvals. Many adjustment of status applicants who filed earlier in the year are now receiving their EADS in under 3 months. This is a dramatic shift from the 5 to 7 month delays that caused so much stress earlier in 2025. USCIS appears to have stabilized its automated verification system, and officers are now able to process work authorization papers more efficiently. Another encouraging update is coming from the I-131 advance parole pipeline. For much of this year, these travel documents were one of the slowest items to move. But this week, older pending cases began to clear in several field offices, with applicants reporting quick approvals after months of no change. For people who have been waiting to travel for urgent family matters, this is incredibly meaningful. These approvals may feel small to outsiders, but for those separated from loved ones abroad, they are life-changing. The National Visa Center is also showing clear improvement. After months of extended review delays, NVC's document review timeline has shortened again. Applicants who submitted their civil documents and financial evidence this fall are seeing confirmations faster than expected. Many families were preparing to wait 10 to 12 weeks for documentarily qualified notices, but some began receiving updates this week in nearly half that time. This acceleration, though modest, opens the door for interviews to be scheduled earlier in the new year. Consulates in New Delhi, Manila, Ciudad Juarez, and Montreal have also released additional interview slots. These locations have some of the highest immigrant visa demand in the world, and the sudden increase in available appointments is a genuinely positive sign. Applicants who have been documentarily qualified for months are now receiving scheduling messages, something that had slowed down significantly over the past quarter. The weekly Visa Bulletin trend lines are offering a small amount of optimism as well, particularly for those following employment-based green cards. While the movement is limited, the fact that categories like EB2 and EB3 India are not retrogressing and are instead inching forward shows that demand pressures may be easing slightly. USCIS analysts believe that if this trend continues into early 2026, families and employers may see more certainty in their processing timelines. There is also good news for students and workers. Universities and HR departments report that F1 OPT and STEM OPT approvals have been coming faster over the past 2 weeks. Many recent graduates had been anxious about losing job offers and internships due to delays, but now USCIS seems to be clearing OPT cases at a more predictable pace. The same applies to H-1B extensions and amendments, which have been moving faster, especially for premium processing cases. Even though these changes don't eliminate the larger challenges inside the immigration system, they do make a difference. It's a reminder that progress happens quietly and steadily, even when the headlines are dominated by policy debates and political tension. For many immigrants, a single case update can change the course of their lives. And this week, more people than usual are finally seeing those updates. It's important to remember that USCIS is still balancing stricter verification standards, especially under the Trump administration's renewed oversight of financial sponsorship and family-based immigration. But at the same time, operational improvements inside the agency are slowly pushing cases forward. This balance, tighter scrutiny combined with better digital workflows, seems to be the reality of late 2025. If your own case hasn't moved yet, don't feel discouraged. Many of these improvements roll out in phases. Service centers and consulates often clear cases in clusters, and movement in 1 week usually spreads to others over the following days. Make sure your USCIS online account is updated, check your email and notifications regularly, and respond quickly to any new requests. Small improvements across the system often reach your case when you least expect it. This week's immigration landscape may not feel like a dramatic breakthrough, but for the first time in a while, the good news is outweighing the setbacks. And for thousands of families, workers, and students, that small shift is enough to move forward with a little more hope. This week's immigration landscape may not feel like a dramatic breakthrough, but for the first time in a while, the good news is outweighing the setbacks. And for thousands of families, workers, and students, that small shift is enough to move forward with a little more hope. That's all we have for this bulletin. That's all we have for this bulletin. The U.S. Immigration News Channel provides all necessary visa information and procedures for your U.S. immigration journey. It is important to understand the United States immigration processing steps, visa application requirements, processing times, forms, fees, and more. We will continue to provide all information about U.S. visitor visas, such as B1 and B2, work visas such as L1A, L1B, and H1B, student visas, green cards, immigrant visas, EB1, EB2, EB3, EB4, and EB5, and family immigrant visas.